Now, European Union countries have started to assess the post-Brexit trade deal reached with the UK on Christmas Eve. The 2,000-page document still needs to be accepted by the British and European parliaments. The long-awaited agreement means that trade across the English Channel will remain tariff-free. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson is pleased with the deal, but it might just cause him a whole new set of headaches.
The doors of the EU Council close. Britain has been estranged from the bloc since January, and now the trade deal is finalising the divorce. EU ambassadors convened on Christmas Day to signal the start of approving the thousands of pages of fine print. All member countries and Britain are expected to ratify the agreement. The EU's chief negotiator, Michel Barnier, expressed regret, saying there was no winner in Brexit and calling the separation a lose-lose situation, while Britain's Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, made merry, exalting the agreement as his Christmas gift to the nation.
Because this is a deal to give certainty to business and travellers and all investors in our country from the 1st of January, a deal with our friends and partners in the EU.
The agreement may have averted the economic chaos of a no-deal Brexit, but commentators warn that Britain may have opened a Pandora's box of troubles, not least Scottish dissatisfaction.
Most of us in Scotland would rather be part of the European Union than the British Union, I think. Well, I'm speaking for myself, but there's a definite feeling that way.
I'm fatigued because it's been going on for so long. It's happening now. The ball's rolling. I think we should just finish it. But I do appreciate that people in Scotland, on the whole, actually wanted to stay in the EU.
Personally, I would prefer Scotland to be part of Europe. So that's the way I'm going to vote in future. I'll vote for independence and for Scotland to be part of the European Union in future.
There are already calls for a second independence referendum to be held in Scotland in the coming year. And this is not the only unknown. Post-Brexit, the UK will be in completely uncharted territory.
Let's get more from DW correspondent Birgit Maas in London. Welcome, Birgit. How is news of this deal being received there?
A big sigh of relief for many in the country. Many ordinary people are just happy that they don't have to hear anything about Brexit so much. It was dominating the news and it was polarising the country, really quite torturous over the last years. For people, of course, who voted Remain, who didn't want to leave the EU, it's quite bittersweet. They are not happy, but the deal prevented something worse, like chaos at the borders and also more disagreements with the EU in the future. So even people who voted Remain are overall relieved that this has happened. Business as well. They are relieved that not tens of thousands or maybe even hundreds of thousands of jobs will be lost due to no deal. So, most people are happy that the deal is done and that for now it's quiet on the Brexit front.
OK. The deals, of course, require a compromise on both sides. Who is feeling particularly hard done by?
Well, people, of course, students, they would have been not happy that they are not part of the Erasmus program anymore. And otherwise, some people who were very concerned about fishing, so Brexiteers that were really fighting for more fishing rights. This is an area where the British government had to compromise, and they started out with a much bigger ask. But the bottom line is that even this deal allows British fishermen to fish much more freely in their own waters, and after 5 years transition there will be a renegotiation. So even on that front there is some compromise was found. Of course, the deal is something that puts up trade barriers. So the bottom line is that Britain economically was better off within the European Union, and Brexit altogether knocks a few percentages off the UK economy. But without the deal, that would have been even worse.
So Britain leaves in less than a week. Parliaments in the UK and in Europe will have to sign off on this deal. Will the House of Commons go for it?
Well, yes, it's expected to be fairly breezy this time, not the torturous scenes that we have seen when Brexit was debated in the House of Commons and voted on in the past years. The Labour opposition party says even though it's thin, the alternative would be no deal, so they are voting for it. So yes, it's expected to go through Parliament without any major difficulties.
Thank you for that. Birgit Mass in London.